Density is a tool at the artist's disposal that has to do with both quality and quantity. We experience density constantly in the ever-flowing life around us. It's in water and in the crash of the wave, in dense population and in the one. It can be seen in the dense compactness of metal and in the light, airy feel of cotton candy. It can be as light as a dream. As shimmering as the touch of young lovers. Or as heavy as the guns of war. The idea of density can be applied in a number of ways. With amount, it has to do with the number of lines, marks, textures, pigment, or forms, as well as the way those amounts are distributed in the painting. With the physical aspects, it refers to the amount of density or compactness or lack of compactness of the physical qualities. The color feel has to do with the weight of the color or colors, the way the colors make us feel on a sense level, like the lightness or heaviness of a color. Density can also refer to the emotional intensities and qualities of the painting, or it can come from the subject matter or content or the concepts of the painting. Density can be a complex or simple issue dealing with any one of these features or with all of them. It's a tool that allows the artist access to orchestration and organization of the painting in different ways. Amount has to do with quantity, the number of any particular aspect of things within a certain context. In this Picasso, we can see how he's orchestrated the amount of things, the amount of marks and lines in the painting. Some places are very compact and filled with marks. Other areas are very open and without marks. And still other areas have a mid-level number of marks. Picasso has varied the number of marks according to amount. The net result is a distribution of amount across the painting in a very orchestrated and controlled way. We could say that this Japanese painting has an amount of density that's fairly full. There's still open spaces for the eye to rest, but overall there are many figures which make the painting dense with figures. This painting by Jackson Pollock is very dense with drips. Yet if we look carefully, we can see that there are dense areas and more open areas, areas where the drips become more compact and close together, and areas where they're more open and separated. This variation of the amount of drips could be called classic orchestration. This painting by Piet Mondrian has a classic demonstration of density orchestration. Some areas are dense with rectangles, and some areas less so. This painting by Fernand Léger is denser in the central area and more open on the peripheral areas of the painting. The physical aspect of density has to do with the preponderance of paint or substance in the painting.
Van Gogh is an excellent example of physical density. When he used thick paint, as he usually did, his paintings were dense with pigment. And because he used primarily opaque paint, this created an even denser feel. His paintings have an almost cement-like density, which gives them a very heavy feel. If he hadn't used bright and vibrant colors, the density would have been even stronger. This may be one of the aspects that's often overlooked in Van Gogh's work. He consistently used this opacity and heaviness throughout his entire career. So the question of why he did this must surely arise. What does this kind of density say about Van Gogh's work, or about Van Gogh himself? Antonio Tapies's paintings were usually made out of very dense material. This made them physically dense and also very heavy. Nicolas de Stael created very dense paintings using thick impasto paint, often applied with a wide brush and sometimes a palette knife.
Density as it relates to color feel has to do with the intensity of feeling that's evoked by the colors. This is more subjective and less tangible than amount or physicality. You have to open yourself to the way the color world evokes sensations and feelings. We might say that the color feel is evoked by the colors and tones and not by the literal subject matter. The color feel of this Louise Nevelson has a kind of cathedral-like, almost religious feeling. This André Derain painting has a dense color feel of saturated sun and heat. The emotional density includes all aspects: the color, the texture, the literal content and meaning of the painting, the physicality, everything that goes into the painting. Yet it might be fair to say that the emotional feel comes more from the literal subject matter than anything else.
This painting by Bonnard has a strong emotional density. It's affected strongly by the dark, absorbing quality of the black dog and by the warm sweetness of the figure.
This painting by Georges Rouault has a definite, strong emotional flavor. The emotional density of this painting by Anselm Kiefer is cold,
and desolate.
Densities are ways that we use our tools. Densities are the way we arrange the elements in the paintings, the amount, the compactness or openness. These arrangements, these orchestrations, are what express what we're feeling and thinking. We have to look deeply, go beyond stereotypes, get lost in the meanings, understand the meanings as best we can. What we feel are the meanings that are important. We have to assimilate them, let them function then through our instincts. Then we have a possibility of reaching a degree of truth and authenticity.